A long time ago, beyond hills and the empty river, there was a small village. The houses were made of mud and clay. Tall trees stood around the village, and birds sang in the trees in the morning. This village was extraordinary because everyone in the village was bald. The men were bald. The women were bald. Even the children were bald. No one had hair on their head because the villagers had lived that way for many, many years, so they thought it was their nature. But there was a woman in that village who was different from the others. Her name was Amara. Amara had long, beautiful hair. It flowed down her back like a river. It was soft and shiny. When the sun touched it, it glowed like gold. When Amara walked through the village, people turned to look. Some stared in surprise. Others shook their heads in fear. Amara did not understand why she was different. She only knew that she was born that way. Children loved Amara's hair. When they saw her, they ran toward her laughing. They smiled and clapped their hands. Some gently touched her hair and said, "It is so soft. It shines like the sun." Amara always smiled at the children. She let them play with her hair. Sometimes she braided flowers into it for them. Many adults did not feel happy about it. When Amara passed by, they whispered to each other, "Why does she have hair? Why is she not like us? Is she cursed?" Amara heard the whispers. They followed her wherever she went. Sometimes they made her heart feel heavy and sad. When she felt lonely, she remembered her grandmother's words. "My child, being different is not bad. What makes you different can be your greatest gift." These words gave Amara strength. One morning, the village drum was beaten loudly. Boom, boom, boom. This meant everyone must gather. The elders of the village called Amara to the council place. They sat in a circle, their faces serious and cold. One elder stood and said, "You are different, Amara. You bring fear to our people." Another elder added, "Our village has no hair, yet you do. This is not right." Amara bowed her head and replied softly, "I do not want to bring fear. I did not choose to be different. My hair is a gift." The elders talked among themselves for a long time. Then they made a rule. If your hair can help the village, you may keep it. But if it cannot, you must cut it off. Amara felt afraid. Her hands trembled. But she loved her village. So she agreed. That night, Amara was unable to sleep. When she finally closed her eyes, she had a dream. In her dream, she saw the village river. The water was gone. The riverbed was cracked and dry. Fish lay still on the ground. The farms were brown and dead. Children cried from hunger. Amara woke up suddenly. Her heart beat fast. She understood the dream. "This is a message," she whispered. "I must go to the river." Before the sun rose, Amara left her home. She walked quietly through the village toward the dry river. Amara stood by the dry riverbed. The ground was hard. The air was hot and silent. She knelt slowly. With care and love, she placed her long hair on the ground. She closed her eyes and prayed. Suddenly, her hair began to glow. A soft golden light spread across the riverbed. The water began to move. At first it was a small trickle. Then it became a stream. Soon the river was full again. Fish jumped happily in the water. The dry farms turned green. Flowers bloomed. The villagers ran toward the river in shock. They shouted, "It's her hair. Her hair saved us." The elders came forward. They bowed their heads in shame. One elder said, "We were wrong. We feared what we did not understand." From that day everything changed. The villagers no longer whispered. They smiled at Amara. They thanked her. Children gathered around her every evening. They played, laughed, and braided flowers into her hair. The village became peaceful again. The river flowed.